Good evening, everybody. How is it going? Apologies for the slightly late start. No excuses, just a bit late. Going into game week 2 now. Big questions, I would say, are Aguero or Salah captain. I can't actually believe how many. Well, it is Huddersfield at home, but I can't believe how many people are thinking of Aguero, given how good Salah was last year. The fact he's already scored a goal this year off the mark. I suppose it is Palace away. I can see why people are going Aguero, of course. Huddersfield at home, but surprised it's such a big margin. So we'll talk about that, I'm sure. And then De Bruyne is injured, so some people have got him. I know Adam in the chat's got him. Not cool. Unlucky, to be fair. Injury happened in training. It's why you try and save your transfer as long as possible. Which Man City's mid is now the best option? Who knows? We'll see. Andy posted, I didn't wear a suit on the last stream. No suit every stream. Special occasions. We'll see how it goes. As always, stream is sponsored, so I'm going to play the sponsor message now, and then we will kick off. That's right, the stream is sponsored by fantasyfootballscout.co.uk. If you haven't already checked them out, click the link in the description below. Got loads of free stuff, loads of free articles, loads of members content, plenty of stuff to have a look at. So click the link in the description below, you can take a look at that. For the main screen, thanks to Marco, who might be in the chat. I don't know if he goes under Marco or a different name, I didn't ask. But he's only a slightly different layout. In fact, where stuff's positioned, it's not really different at all in terms of logo, sponsor at the bottom, but it looks much cleaner. And I finally got overall rank, game week rank, and game week points there. So there'll be no more questions on that. In game week 2, once we go and stream, I'll know what my points are. I can have them straight up. No more questions about that. And you can see how badly I'm doing throughout the season. Yeah, that's how it is. So, yeah, happy with the thing. Thanks a lot to Marco. There we go. Marco J. No, that's probably him. Thanks very much, Marco. Much appreciated. Just reached out, sent me this via email. Very cool. So, yeah, I like that. What else is there to talk about? I guess some FPL stuff, yeah? Maybe? How's it going, Gibbo? Jason, what's up? Rory, how's it going? Physio, new account. Yeah, I'll try and sort that out later. Sanchez out? Nah. You're 1 point ahead of me, and that's 20,000 places. Yeah, it gets. I think that's what I was kind of saying. I think FPL General was tweeting out about how it's a marathon, not a sprint, and there's no music. Of course, you got to put the music back on after you play the sponsor message. And I think a lot of people are going to be a little bit quieter in game week 2 because everyone's very happy right now, and it's not going to last. You're going to have some bad weeks. It could happen in game week 2. We'll see. Maybe the template will keep on trucking for a few more weeks. Obviously started off very nicely. I'm really happy with my team. Richarlison obviously still flagged, but should be fine. Well, I'm sure once he gets told he's fine in the press conference, will be good. It'll be taken off. Still got Sanchez. I know a lot of people telling me to get rid of him, but obviously you use the transfer, and it's Brighton away. Don't think I'm getting rid of him for that. But possibly in game week 3. Am I thinking about him for captain? Says M. Finello. Excellent. No, definitely not. Salah or Aguero for me. Currently on Aguero. We'll see what Pep says tomorrow. If he gives any kind of indication that he might be rested, then I'll switch back, I think. Maybe go for Sanchez. Unlikely. Yeah, I'm still on Foster. I'm basically going for the high ceiling and hoping that King will score. I do realise that's a little bit risky. Because if I didn't have King, I would play Fabianski. And I think just Bournemouth being quite attacking will probably help with save points as well. Am I not watching Celebrity Big Brother? No, I wasn't planning on it. So yeah, currently going to stick with Foster, I think. Yeah, new UI, thanks very much again. I keep saying thanks to Marco. It was very cool of him to He basically emailed me and said, "Here, I know I hear you mentioned that you wanted a new eye. Here it is." So really happy with it. Much cleaner than the rubbish that I put together, that's for sure. Sanchez to Hazard looks nice. Yeah, I kind of agree, maybe for Game Week 3, but Hazard has Arsenal, and of course Hazard can cause them problems, as he's done before. But he didn't start the last game. I assume he's pretty much fit at this stage, but I don't know. I think it's a little bit, not risky, maybe. I just don't think it's necessarily the best time to bring him in. But Game Week 3, after seeing him in Game Week 2, then yeah, we'll see about that. Oh, there you go. That is Marco. How's it going, my man? Final captain pick. Yeah, well, depending on what Pep says. Brighton will shock United. I mean, I'm not expecting Brighton to concede as many shots and stuff as they did in the first game week. Playing at home, you'd expect them to be a bit tighter, but hopefully everyone's fit to play for Man United. Lukaku's back, and Sanchez can do the business. I know it's unlikely. Well, not unlikely. I know it's not something that a lot of people think is going to happen, but got to take the risk. It's not even a risk. I've got to keep him in my team. I'm not going to make a transfer because I don't know definitely who I want. Do I want Sterling? Do I want Bernardo Silva? Do I want Mahrez? Do I want Hazard? Do I want Ramsey? Do I want Aubameyang? I just feel like Game Week 2 is going to give me a lot more info. Potentially going to make the decisions a lot harder if they all perform. But there's loads of options I'm looking at. Do I get a fourth defender in? Drop King? Maybe. Do I get another Man City defender in? Etc, etc. So lots to think about. Watched all last season, but first time watching I've returned to England. Oh, very nice. He started off with 95 points, very good. Thoughts on Ings and Austin, both cheap, will both start together. I'm not sure if they're going to start together because generally Southampton play with just the one striker. Yeah, Austin could be on penalties. Actually, let me have a quick look on who the Fantasy Football Scout thinks is going to be on penalties, because obviously it would have been Tadic last year. I mean, Austin's pretty decent at him. Yeah, they reckon Austin. I'd say he probably will get him, but it's just whether him and Ings are going to start. I'm just not sure that's going to happen. Again, like, it's just one of those things where I don't want to make the decision this week. How do I donate? There's a little $sign at the bottom of the chat, but it's not on all devices. Don't think anyone should make transfers unless they have an injury or generally screwed up big time. Yeah, pretty much. Although I will say, I said it on the Scoutcast, I saw like Spencer did Davis to Mendy, and generally I don't think that kind of move's that good, but not after 1 week anyway. But I was thought, yeah, fair enough, getting Mendy in. Your thoughts on Bellerin for Mendy? So Bellerin from Game Week 3, or Arsenal in general, have good fixtures, and so one of the things I've thought about, and honestly there's so many different transfers going through my head, and this isn't for this week, it's not an 8-12 point hit, but King out to like a 4.5, so that give me 2 million, and then upgrade Peltier to Bellerin, that give me 4 at the back, and it'll give me 0.5 million to spend. I could get Sterling in for Sanchez. That's something I thought about. Or I could just go cheap like Mahrez and use the 1.5 million elsewhere, or 2 million elsewhere at that point. Should you drop Aubameyang? Yeah, I don't think so. Game Week 3, they look really good. I'm eyeing up bringing in Arsenal players, not getting rid of. If you've got them, move the mouse. Sorry, yeah. If you've got Arsenal players already, it seems like a bit of a crazy time to get rid of them, to be honest. Like, I feel like if you thought that Chelsea wasn't a good game, you've already made the mistake by having them in Game Week 1. So you've got to hold on, I think. They've not really done anything apart from lose to the best team in the league to make you think you've got to get rid. No Palace defenders against Liverpool. No, well, I mean, I'm expecting Liverpool to score, so. Arnie, Arnautovic has difficult fixtures coming up, so it's not worth the minus. Don't know what that means. Yeah, I think Maddison will be good. It looks like Richarlison's probably going to play, yeah. Howard Wallowitz. I love that name. This is my favourite stream on YouTube. Thank you very much. My girlfriend is jealous of you. Well, she's got every right to be. Swap Sanchez with Mane. Oh, did you get him in before the price rise, though? That's the question. If you did, Fair enough. I can't blame you too much. I am a little bit gutted that I didn't get Mane, but like I've said a few times now, I wasn't necessarily going to get him. Although I did keep calling Sanchez Mane plus 1 million. It's not like I called him Eriksen plus 1 million that often. Robert, how's it going, my man? Thanks both of you for the donations, much appreciated. You got him before the price was okay. Fair enough. Yeah, he's gonna be 9.7 soon. I don't want it to force my hand, to be honest. The thing with Liverpool is so they got Crystal Palace away this week, and arguably that's not the best fixture. Then it's Brighton at home, fair enough, that's good. But then it's Leicester away, Spurs away, Chelsea away, and Man City at home in 4 of the 5 after Brighton. That's not that good for Liverpool. Now, obviously, they're a really good team. They probably will keep scoring goals in those games. But how many? They're not going to score 3 and 4 in most of those games, you'd imagine. So I don't know if I feel like sometimes you've got to get past a game week and then suddenly you're not so bothered about like right now, yes, let me try and explain that a bit better. Right now I'd really like Mane, but if I can get past this game week then suddenly I'm not so bothered about having him. Even though he'll probably smash it against Brighton, we'll see. Oh Jesus, £10 donation from Ira Wynne Jones. Thank you very much. What do you think of having Vardy plus 2 million in the bank instead of Aguero, as Aguero might not start or might not play over 60 minutes? The next week upgrading Vardy to Aubameyang. I mean, personally, I think you could do that if you think Vardy is a better option than Aguero this week, but you're basing that on Aguero maybe not starting when he absolutely could start. And if he does start, it's Huddersfield at home. I know they've not got De Bruyne, but they've still got so many quality players that you could absolutely go nuts against Huddersfield. So for me, I'd rather save the transfer and then make the decision next week. And if you still want Aubameyang, you can just do Aguero to Aubameyang. There's no real need to go Aguero to Vardy to Aubameyang. Like, it's just not worth a transfer, in my opinion. If you really think that Vardy's going to smash Aguero this week, then go for it. And then do Vardy to Aubameyang next week. But transfers are quite precious. So in Game Week 3, you could just go Aguero to Aubameyang. That would still give you the Aubameyang you want in Game Week 3. It will save you a transfer, and you have Aguero against Huddersfield, which to me, decent, I think. If you like captain player at home, did you see how well Salah and Aguero rotate home fixtures in the next 5 weeks? I've not checked, but I did have a look at how bad Liverpool's fixtures were, and if I didn't feel comfortable captaining Salah, I did look at who was good in those game weeks, and Chelsea are good for I think 1 or 2 of them for Liverpool's really tough games, but Man City are the one to go for. So yeah, I did have a kind of look at that in a roundabout way. I just had 2 questions saved, which I've just lost. How are you feeling about Jota? He's already on thin ice for me. Wasn't impressed with. Yeah, I wasn't too impressed with him. Didn't really get that involved. I didn't think. Maybe, I don't know, first game nerves or something, but Neves didn't look too nervous, to be fair. I said pre-season, I didn't really know a lot about him. There's lots of hype about him, so I kind of jumped on that. Wolves fixtures are not amazing. So he's kind of on thin ice for me too. But like I said, the problem is I've got so many different transfers running through my head. Not sure if he'll be the first to go. But again, if I can get 1 million somewhere, Jota to Ramsey, for example, could be on. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, he's him and Sanchez and King right now are probably the 3 who I'm most thinking about maybe taking rid. I think I'd feel worse this week not captain Aguero on a haul. I would pick him and I would than picking him and he blanks. Yeah, no, fair enough. Mendy cleanly gives the same points as an Aguero goal. The bookmakers' odds are the same. Massive differentials. Everyone is going Aguero hat-trick. I mean, the Cleany and 1 goal is the same, but I mean, can you see Aguero scoring 2 goals or getting a goal and an assist versus Huddersfield? I mean, I could. Granted, I think Man City will keep a clean sheet. I just think Aguero's ceiling is higher than... I don't even think it's a case of think. I think... I've just said I think again, but it is, right? Aguero's is higher than Mendy's, I think. Again, think. So that's why I'll probably go for him. If King blanks, you're going to need Jet to Mitrovic, Benteke, Austin. I mean, I'd love Austin if he starts again, especially if Ings starts as well. I'd definitely look at that. Who will score more total points this season, Robertson or Sanchez? I think Liverpool are going to keep so many clean sheets. But still, Robertson's probably not going to score more than 200. Could Sanchez score more than 200? He'd have to be on top form. He has done it twice in 4 years. Going to go Sanchez. I just want... It's because I want Sanchez to beat him. Do I know Vieronka personally? No, I wish I did though. Love to sit down and get his thoughts. King to Inns and Jota to Ramsey. Yeah, there's loads of stuff like that. I'm not thinking too much. Well, I have thought quite a bit about it, but I'm not trying to think too much about it because obviously loads of stuff could happen in Gameweek 2. Hey Dean, how's it going? Ozil for Jota. I'm still not sure about Ozil. Zaha did not get injured in training today, as far as I know. If he did, I will remove that ban. If he didn't, the ban stays. How do I feel about Davis? Where is he in the pecking order? I mean, Davis is... Fulham at home is nice. Then it's Man United, so not so good. Depends on Danny Rose. He's probably going to play a few games. How many? It's anyone's guess, really. I like Davis if he's going to play. But I like Trippier too. Right now, I'm not really looking at Spurs. I think the problem is 6 million. You can get Mendy and Robertson. They're ahead for me. And then potentially like Man United defender is cheaper. You could maybe even Bellerin. I am eyeing up Bellerin actually for Arsenal's good fixtures. So he's 5.5. So Davis is quite... Yeah, he's pretty low down, I think. Louise, 5.5. Rudiger, potentially a bonus point magnet. Goal threat as well, 6 million. He's the same as Davis. So, yeah, Davis is not too high up the list for me, actually. Even though I know that if he keeps playing, doesn't get rotated, they do really well. Gross out, Madison in. Yeah, Gross got subbed quite early. I don't know. I mean, maybe if he'll turn it around. I mean, turn it around. It's only been one game, but I just don't see him being worth 7 million. Is he going to repeat last year? I don't know. I'm doubtful about that. Again, though, Maddison is. I'm liking Maddison too. I liked his performance against Man United, but it was only kind of the first half. I said this already. Kind of the first half. Where he's really good. Obviously went off around 60 minutes. Was carrying knock. Will probably be fit to start the weekend. I don't know if we've had the Leicester press conference yet. I've not double checked. It looks like everything's going to go through him. He's going to monopolise set pieces that aren't penalties and say Vardy's still on those. So I do like him. I just wonder if we're jumping the gun just a little bit with him. Yeah, maybe we'll see him in a couple of games at least first. But I did like him against Man United, and I think they got a good run of fixtures. So if you're looking to get rid of Gross, yeah, I think Maddison's a pretty decent option. And yeah, as Drabby points out, how will they play when Vardy's back? Will Iniacho stay in the team? Will that affect Maddison at all? Damn, so harsh, man. A moron. It's like watching some American team show. Oh, good question. If Jota and King both blank again, who would be more important to get rid of? I mean, I'm going to use my template, it depends. And what I would say it depends on is who you would bring in. So I think like King to Zaha is a good move. If you've got a bit more money, you could do Jota to Ramsey or Jota to Bernardo Silva. That may be a better move. But it would also depend on how they play. So if Jota plays really well, just got a bit unlucky not to score, then I'd be more tempted to keep him. If Wilson and Fraser are making the runs into the box and King's kind of drifting out wide a bit more, again, for 2 weeks in a row, then I'd be more tempted to shift King. So it would depend on how they play and who I could bring in. Or who I want to bring in. I might want to go 3-5-2, 4-4-2. Then it'd be King. I might want to stay with a third striker. Then it could be Jota. I'd like King to do... I don't think King played that badly. I know he didn't really have too many shots compared to Wilson. I don't think he played that badly. So we'll see what happens with him. I want him to do well just because I feel like people are knee-jerking on him way too quick. Way too quick. Jermaine Pennant on Big Brother. Did you ever have him in your team? No, I don't think so. Is Kante a fantasy option? So I answered this. So I did. I'm going to try and do it every week. No promises. The community Q&A. So take kind of 5 or 6 questions from the community and answer them on a video for that game week. And one of the questions was about Kante, and we talked about him on the Scoutcast as well. For me, I don't think he's suddenly a first 11 option, to be honest. I think I'd rather have Neves. I'd also, Kennedy at Newcastle is an option for 5 million as well. And then for 5.5, you've got Gray, Fraser. I don't know, just Kante not for me just yet. But I can see why people are looking at him, but it seems a little bit too good to be true, to be honest. Should say as well, there's 5 polls up tonight. How many transfers game week 2? Is Mendy essential? Best captain for game week 2? Which Man City mid now that De Bruyne is out? And then Firmino or Mane, which someone asked me. I don't know if they're wildcard or just making a transfer this week. So they're 5 polls, top right hand corner. Click the little eye, you can vote on them. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button as well. It'll be much appreciated. And finally, if you are new around here, make sure to hit subscribe and hit the little bell notification so that you know when I'm going live, when the new videos are out. Just hit over 19,000 subscribers. Thanks very much for that. Next step, 20k. Don't know how long that'll be. Hopefully not too long. But thanks for everyone that's subscribed so far. Much appreciated. And yeah, we've got over 700 people watching. So let's hit that like button. Get to 100. Be much appreciated. And how long have we been going? 26 minutes. Let me... cheers, Luke. Thanks very much. Hey Fuzzy, how's it going? Next up, 1 million subscribers. Oof, wouldn't that be nice? 1 million subs just for talking about FPL. Not sure about that. Just really quickly as well, let's do the Patreon shout out, which is part of the Patreon. So I'm going to do it every stream. New patrons, Harrison C, thank you very much. And then the producer status, Dean P, Madcheck, Alex C, Kenneth DT, Christopher M, Connor S, Andreas G, a new one for this month as well, Matthew H, who's in the chat, or he was earlier. Thank you very much. If anyone wants to check what it's all about, the link is in the description below. Boom, we're back. Yeah, I liked Mitrovic actually, game week 1. I think there's 2 things about that Palace and Fulham game. One, Palace were probably lucky to have a clean sheet. And obviously, vice versa, Fulham were unlucky not to score. I think Hennessy just had a great game. Hennessy, by the way, probably overlooked as a goalkeeper. I know there's lots of defender options. That's probably why at Palace. But yeah, Hennessy looked good. Mitrovic looked good. I think Schürrle, I think he looked okay as well. And nearly won a penalty. Should have won a penalty. But yeah, Mitrovic I thought was okay. Bit unlucky not to score, to be honest. Probably it would be nice if he had slightly better service, of course. But yeah, I'm definitely looking at him now. Wild card. Oof, not yet. I'm going to try and keep my wild card as long as possible. Anyone that watched the stream last year, you know, it stays in the back pocket as long as possible. I know a lot of people like to use it early, and I don't want to kind of purposely not use it just to hold it a long time. But unless I really need a lot, like I'd take a -4 here or there. Before using the wild card. It depends. Once you've got a lot of big hitters that you need to get rid of, then I'd probably look at it. Like if the likes of Robertson or Mendy somehow start falling out of favour, plus I've got a bench fodder that I don't really like, and there's a couple of first 11 transfers to make, then I'd maybe think about using it. How long am I holding on to Sanchez for? Probably only until game week 3. But if he does really well this week, and not only does he do well, but Man United look good and he looks good, then who knows? How many hits did I take last season? Good question. I can't remember. Probably around 50, 40 to 50. Took 90. This is points wise. So obviously not 50 because that wouldn't count. Like 40, 44, 48, 52. And And the year before I took like 96. Sanchez could get 50 points. He's still out for Hazard game week 3. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, one thing I'll say about Man United players, I know I do veer towards them, but I think the completely biased thing is a little bit unfair. Like last year, if you remember, if you watch the streams, I took out Lukaku way before everyone else. Or at least a few weeks before everyone else. I mean, it backfired, but it's not like I keep Man United players too long if I don't think they're worth it. So there's every chance that Sanchez is out before Spurs. And I know he's 10.5 million, so he cuts a lot of money. Thoughts on Sterling captain? Great option. Sterling, probably the most nailed attacking, the most apart from Fernandinho, if you want to call him an attacker. The most nailed attacker is Sterling, I would say, out of everyone that's fit. Obviously, if De Bruyne is around, then he's probably slightly more nailed. Will Aguero start? Yeah, I think he will. Put Wan-Bissaka ahead of Stevens on the bench. Yeah, I probably will do that, actually. Good point. I tend to do that on Saturday. Yeah, I mean, Sterling got over 200 points last year. Don't see why he can't do that again. That's a good point, yeah. Maybe a live transfer. The problem is I don't like doing transfers on a Thursday, so it's tough. We'll see. Should you sub off Trippier? Definitely not. I mean, it's Fulham. I would take the chance that he's going to start. And I think he probably will. I mean, Matt's in, who knows a lot about Spurs, but I'd say he probably will start this week. Unless there's another knock or something that I've not heard about. But I think it's generally just back from the World Cup, so didn't start game week 1. What's my knowledge of American celebrities like? Don't know. Okay, I suppose. Sané to start next week. I don't think he will. But I could be wrong. Sorry. I'm very team anyone but Aurier though, so that may be biased. Yeah, fair enough. If Sané starts, he's subbed at 50 minutes. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily true. Thoughts on double Liverpool and double City defence? I nearly started with that. I nearly started with Mendy, Edison, Trent and Robertson, and not regretting it, but yeah, I think it's great. Although Liverpool's fixtures do get tough quite quickly. We should have a live stream regulars league. I couldn't tell you how much admin that would be to figure out who the regular stream watchers are. I see a lot of names every week, but I don't know where you draw the line, to be honest. What if Aguero doesn't start? Then it's panic all round. Salah gets a hat-trick. I never don't captain... Never don't. It's really bad English. Never don't captain Salah again. Is Pogba playing this week, considering the rumours around him and Mourinho? I would say yes. Unless you hear Mourinho say otherwise, honestly, I think Pogba starts. He has to. There's obviously no way Man United want to sell him. They're going to keep him happy. They can't sell him. They've not got a replacement for him. They can't buy anyone now. Pogba definitely starts. He's the most nailed Man United player, I'd say, him and Lukaku. He did get dropped a few times last year. I think Jose trying to teach him a lesson at points, at times. Don't think that's going to be the case this year. I mean, you could probably say Lukaku's more nailed, but Pogba very, very, very close behind. And Sanchez as well. Of course. And De Gea. And Bailly maybe? Luke Shaw? I don't know. Peltier or PVA on the bench for game week 2. I know Peltier's got the better fixture, but I don't know. That attacking from Van Arnold. Tompkins and Sacco double up at centre-back is also very good. For clean sheet, so there is potential Palace could keep Liverpool out. I do realise that potential is very slim, but I would play Van Arnold every time. I don't know. I don't think Cardiff are going to keep a clean sheet. Is Pogba a good option instead of De Bruyne? I think he is. Yeah. Now, if you're not going to bring him in this week, then it is Spurs after that, so you might not necessarily want him there. But I think for 8 million, he's decent. Like for me, if I had Van Arnold, I'd have him because I never have to think about dropping him or not. He just plays every game. Would you think about putting Ricardo Pereira in as he's playing out of position? Yes, but I don't know if he's going to keep playing out of position. But even if he doesn't, he should just fall to right back. So he could be a good option. I really like Chilwell though on the other side for 5 million as well, because he's already shown how attacky he is as a left back, whereas Ricardo played further forward. Of course, he might still be attacking as a fullback, but I think Chilwell is probably the better option there. How long am I streaming until? I don't know, half 10ish maybe. Don't forget, hit that like button if you haven't already, it'd be much appreciated, and subscribe if you're new around here, and vote on the polls. We'll do them in about 25ish minutes. Should I take a hit and swap Jota to Bernardo Silva? It's definitely tempting, I think, because obviously it's Huddersfield. You're expecting to stay in the team. I don't like a hit unless you really need it this week. I'm not against hits, as you know, but yeah, I just don't know. First week, there's still so much could change for game week 3 after we see what happens in game week 2. I'm really looking forward to game week 2. I think mostly because we've had such a good start. I want to see if that's going to continue. But we'll see. Stream until the game week 2 deadline. I wish. Cheers, Byron. Thanks very much. Fire around before you hit 900 watching. I don't think we're going to hit 900 now. Slowly crept up to 800. Gone back down now. I'm not sure we're going to hit the heights of 1,000 again for the whole season. But 800 still very nice. I've got 2 Liverpool defenders too. I change one. If so, for who? Well, you probably just keep your Liverpool defenders. Do I think Sané will play as much with Mendy in the team? I do not. I'd also think there's something slightly up there between Sané and Pep. I don't know. Kind of nice the less people that join. Now we want thousands and thousands. Can I do the Delhi celebration? I actually did it on the Scoutcast. No one noticed. I wasn't on screen at the time. I was on the little squares. Can I do it? I can, but like my finger... I can't make the hole properly. Hang on. Let me try again. It just doesn't look like a proper... ish. Once you tweet out a picture of the new UI, viewers will come flooding in. I will do that after, yeah. Am I getting Bernardo Silva? Possibly. I'm kind of liking Mahrez, to be honest. Because I think now he's going to take set pieces while De Bruyne is not around. I think they kind of need like a creative spark, and I wonder if that's him when David Silva's not fully fit. I don't know. He's going to take some time to adjust to playing for Man City, of course. Yeah, no, I quite like Mahrez as an option. I'm definitely considering him as mine. These Salah. Salah, were you looking to be unbanned on FFS? Man City needed creative spot. You know what I mean? Like a playmaker, like De Bruyne and kind of David Silva are. I mean, Bernardo Silva could maybe be that man. Atletico smashed Real Madrid. Why aren't I starting Fabianski over Foster? Mostly because I've got Josh King playing. And that is why. Ah, okay, is you. Cool. Umar, you're officially subscribed. Thank you very much. Spurs' new ground delays, lack of team investment. Do you think it can affect their FPL bigs? I think Spurs will be fine, to be honest. like any team, they don't want too many injuries, of course, because their strength in depth is not necessarily as good as the other top 6 teams. But if they can stay injury-free, I think their first 11 is fine. Pochettino knows them really well. Obviously, managed them for ages now. They know him. They got a system. They're good at it. Kane, Ali, Eriksson, all great players. So I think they'll be fine. I think maybe, and it's not just a Spurs thing, although they might be more affected because of how many players they had that went so far in the World Cup, is, you know, of course we thought some players were going to miss out, and some players did, maybe not as many as we thought. But perhaps further on into the season, those players that did play a long World Cup, and they kind of started in Game Week 1, Game Week 2, they will need a rest further on. Do I have Worcester sauce on your beans on cheese on toast? Nah. That's it. It's good enough as it is. I'm pretty confident that Guerrero will start, yeah. Alexander-Arnold or Robertson, I mean, obviously you've got to consider the price difference. I think if you've got something really good that you can do with that 1 million, then fair enough on Trent. But I really like Robertson for 6 million. I think he showed in Game Week 1 he can provide excellent value, assists and clean sheets, and probably a goal or 2 or 3 this year as well. I just think for 6 million he's steady. He's probably more nailed than Trent is. A little bit less competition on the left. Moreno's there, of course, but maybe not as good as, I don't know, the likes of Klein and stuff are on the right. But I think both of them will probably start the majority of games, especially where there's no Champions League and stuff. So yeah, if you can do something really good with that 1 million, then maybe Trent. I think he played pretty well as well, but I don't know, something about Robertson. I really like him this year. Yeah, Trent is on set pieces. And he's pretty good at them as well. Although he was nowhere near as good as Trippier at the World Cup, but whatever. Only played like 1 game in a bit. Really confused if I should take Rashford out or save a transfer. That's a good question. I think Rashford is probably not going to start this week. So it depends who you're bringing him in for. I would possibly risk that he might play a part. He probably will play a part. He's one of those players that, even if he doesn't start, he usually gets brought on. And then maybe reassessing Game Week 3. But you'd imagine Lukaku will be back this week, which means Rashford won't play through the middle. Sanchez will play left, and then they'll probably just play Mata again on the right. We'll see. But yeah, I don't think Rashford's got a very good chance of scoring. Nah, don't. If anyone's talking about dropping in Firmino, don't. I don't think. And not even a thing. You shouldn't. Wish you the second place this year. I'm coming first, man. 174k this week. Rank 1 next week? Maybe. Maybe not. Keep Rashford. I think he'll play right. I mean, he could play right wheel. We could play Sanchez, Lukaku, Rashford, but I don't know if we will. But I would probably keep him. That's not my dog, actually. It's next door. I've got the window open to keep it cool in here. What A levels did I take? Oof, Owl Productions with the great questions. What did I take? Can't remember 2 of them. Oh, law, business, and geography, I think. Ugh. I think Bernie may struggle extra tired from extra time. I don't. Yes, I'm sure some of the players might be a little bit tired, but I just think this this early in the season, I think it can only help build fitness. I think Europe later on, like even, and not like super later on, like not after Christmas. I think like in a month or 2, it could start to take its toll on their squad. But right now, I'm not sure it's a huge issue. They don't have to play till Sunday. It will take it out of them a bit, but I just think defensively they're so solid. They could still do well. Burnley are playing with a second string side. Well, there you go. That helps too. Is Chris Wood playing? You just brought in Sterling. Got a good feeling for next few games. I think Sterling looks great. Yeah. if he plays in, you know, the way he can play and the way that Pep kind of sets his team up with Sterling like almost like a second striker, they're good. No wood, okay, that's good. There's a moth behind me. That was hilarious. In fact, I need to get that video downloaded so I can. Oh, he got subbed on and scored, did he? Okay, cool. So I can cut up the moth bit. Let me add Maria. Should they offer university degrees in FPL? And if so, would you offer your services as a lecturer? I'm not sure I can stand up with a bunch of people and talk, to be honest. I couldn't stop laughing. I assumed it was a moth. And then it was. It's fine. Thanks very much, Physio. Which City midfield will play this week? I think it'll probably be... They could even just start with the same lineup. I think there's a good chance of that if David Silva's just coming back from injury. Oh, it was Cork that scored. Okay, sorry. Am I going to binge watch the City documentary or be disciplined and enjoy it over a few days? Is it just one? Is it just one like long documentary or what? I'm pretty tempted to sign up for Amazon Prime just for that. By the way, let's do a quick comparison from Gameweek. We'll do a quick fire in a sec. Let's do a quick comparison on fantasyfootballscout.co.uk, which you can click on in the link in the description below if you want to check them out. Check everything they've got to offer. Let's do a quick comparison of 2 players from Gameweek 1. Let me know who you want to compare. What do I think about Aubameyang or Sanchez in Game Week 3? Aubameyang, for sure. Much better fixture. Josh King, Callum Wilson. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Aguero, well, Jesus didn't play. Mendy and Sterling heat maps. Could be interesting. Mendy and anyone really is quite interesting, I think. Ali and Ericsson, I think that's a nice one actually. So Ali and Ericsson is the winner currently. Sigurdsson, Ali or Sterling. I think Ericsson versus Ali is good. Played in the same match. Obviously, Ali came away with the points, but how good was Ericsson? All right, we're doing that. Oh, Mendy and Robertson heat map. Oof. Mendy versus Robertson, another shout for that. All right, we'll do it like this. If you want Ali and Ericsson, 1, type 1 in the chat. If you want Mendy versus Robertson, type 2. So 1 for Ali versus Ericsson. Jesus. 1 for Ali versus Ericsson. 2 for Robertson versus Mendy. Oh, it's a mix. Oh, the 1s were winning, but now the 2s are coming back. I mean, the great thing about getting you to type this in chat is there's no way I can actually tell you exactly how many people did it. Oh, lots of 2s there. Few 1s. I think 2. Yeah, it's going 2. Right, we're going to do Mendy versus Robertson. I think it'd be quite interesting, actually. Especially if you've not got either of them and you're thinking about bringing one in. Obviously, Mendy's fixtures are fantastic, but let's do that quick. So hopefully... Hang on a second. Nice and slick, nice and slick. Whee! Here we go. So this is basically everything that's available in the members area. If you want to check it out, like I said, click the link in the description below. Loads of different stuff you can use. Team stats, player stats, comparison tools. You can create your own tables and whatever. There's also a rate my team function. So one thing I've looked at this week is I can type in my ID, which you find from going to Game Week history. And I have looked at taking Sanchez out. So for example, take Sanchez out and put in Mahrez, for example. Rate my team thinks that I may get like kind of 0.3 extra point for this week. So for me, that's not a good enough. For someone I don't necessarily want to get rid of anyway, that's not a good enough total to risk taking the transfer this week, so I'll probably save it till next week. So rate my teams there. You can put in your ID. It'll tell you what they think you're going to get. You can take out players and look at what transfers you're doing. And then this is the comparison tool. So you can do this for kind of any player. Mendy on the left. Robertson on the right. So all matches, obviously, it's only been 1 week. You know, during the season as it goes on, you can do last 2 matches, last 4, game week range, arbitrary game week, whatever you want to do. So this is the heat map. This is for touches. It's actually not too different, to be honest. Robertson getting arguably even a few better touches further forward, which is pretty interesting. And then you can see kind of shots. So you can change it to where they had shots. So Robertson, no shots. Mendy obviously had pretty nice, especially that one in the box, pretty nice chance there. And then chances created. You can see where they're creating their chances from. Again, quite central for Mendy, which I think is interesting. And then Robertson from out wide, which is cool. And then Mendy kind of winning on key stats. So there's loads of different ones here you can look at. We won't go through all of them. I tend to look at stuff like touches in the final third, very similar, 29 versus 30. Penalty area touches, Robertson touching the ball more times in the penalty area. Interesting enough. Goal attempts, though, Mendy actually having a few goal attempts, Robertson isn't. And then assists, chances created, 2 each. So very similar. Mendy maybe just wins out from the goal attempts, but I wouldn't count Robertson out just yet. But Mendy's fixtures are very good as well. So that's the kind of thing you can do in the members area if you sign up. It's still, from what I checked earlier, still £12.50. That will change to £15 soon. And that's for the whole season. It's not monthly or anything. And there's, yeah, you can compare any different kind of player you want. So there's Mendy and Robertson. We're not going to do any more in this stream. So if you want to check it out, you'll have to check it out yourselves. And maybe we'll do one in the next stream. So fantasyfootballscout.co.uk, click the link in the description below. Oh, it's £15 already. Okay, sorry. Well, that's good. So it's £15. Excuse the thing I did earlier. I'll have to get that changed, that video at the start. The answer from all this comparison is you need them both. Yeah, fair point. Make it a regular thing. What's that? Streams? Streams are regular. Don't forget, by the way, click on the polls if you haven't already and vote on them. We're going to do them in about 10 minutes. And click the like button if you haven't already, if you're enjoying the stream, and subscribe if you're new around here. Do one more comparison. No more comparisons for this stream, but maybe in the next one. We'll see. What about Captain and Sanchez? A differential? Too differential for me. Any big injury news? I don't think there's been any big news today. There'll be more streams. More press conferences tomorrow. If there is any big news from the press conferences, I might do another Instagram live. If you haven't already, follow me on Instagram. It's just Let's Talk FPL. No spaces, no gaps, no underscores or anything. I've been doing a bit of Instagram live on there. So if I just want to talk about something really quick, rather than set up a whole stream like this, do this twice a week, just set one of those up for like 4 or 5 minutes. Just have a chat. Might do it over the weekend as the games are being played or finishing or whatever. Even though Emery seemed to say that Czech is his first choice goalkeeper for now, that seems really strange to me. I can't really imagine why he's not gone for Leno. I've tried to remod you a few times. It keeps saying it's now a moderator for my channel, but it's not working for whatever reason. Don't know why. Burnley have won. Fair play. Is Richarlison going to play or should I switch him out? He should play. Let's wait for news though. We'll have to see what happens. Sanchez to Hazard game week 3 could happen. I'm pretty sure I'll be downgrading Sanchez though to get some money. Don't know who for yet. Insta videograms would be perfect for the press conferences. Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest, I don't. Well, yeah, I can just point to Instagram now. Wait. Oh, the camera's lagging. Right here. Right here. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, I'm not going to schedule Instagrams. The reason I want to use it is because I like that I don't have to schedule it and I can just be wherever. I don't have to set up a stream. Don't have to have the graphics and stuff. I just set it up and click a button and go. Have you ever fallen for the classic there's a spider on your wall prank? No, because I can see through the... I'm seeing what you guys are seeing. So I can see behind me. See you later, Physio. Thoughts on Madison? Yeah, I think he's a good punt. He looked really... I've already spoken about him. He looked really good against Man United. We'll have to see if he can continue that on. I mean, Man United is a tough fixture to start in. Should have had a goal. I like what I saw for at least 60 minutes when he played, but obviously didn't play any longer than that. I'll have to see how he does with Vardy in the team. I can't imagine that Vardy coming in is going to make him worse. You know what I'm saying? Thanks, Matthew. Am I set on Aguero captain? I think I am, yeah. Although... Salah is just going to punish me. Max is 5,000th in the world. Ooh, very nice. What's a punt? A punt's like a player that is not necessarily being... Like, Salah wouldn't be a punt because everyone knows he's going to do well. A punt might be... You could say that Sanchez captain this week will be a bit of a punt because you know that if they play, Salah and Aguero are going to do really well. You're not so sure about Sanchez, so you're punting that he'll do better and no one's really considering him. Probably not the best example. Like, more likely would be, I don't know. You could take a punt on. You could take a punt on Madison, captain, something like that. Bring in Madison, punting him. Benteke, yeah, he'd be a punt because no one's looking at Benteke. They're looking at King, Mitrovic, Zaha, and Arnautovic. No one's looking at Benteke, so you could take a punt on him. He's going to do well. Yeah, punt equals a gamble. That's thanks, Stephen. That's a much easier way. Favourite comedian? I don't know. 104 points, very nice. Ericsson, captain differential, I like that. Fulham, I reckon he's going to do well. Do I like to do a cheeky accumulator? I've not done one of those for ages, to be honest. Aubameyang, differential captain. I'm not sure about that versus Chelsea, to be honest. What's my reason on starting Foster over Fab? It's pretty much because of King. I'm hoping that King can score and Fabianski won't get too many saves and Foster can just get a clean sheet against Burnley. Can you space the rank boxes evenly? So, yeah, the reason I haven't done that is because I had to overwrite the ones that were there and I haven't quite figured out how to get rid of the ones that were there yet. I don't want to bore you with it. But yeah, they need to be a little bit more to the left, I know. Or, what I could do is this. Like, is that better? Then it's not covering the box completely. I don't know, it's tough. It's tough, do you know what I'm saying? Like, does that work better? Maybe. Underrated. Yeah, underrated. Another good word. Gamble, punt. I don't know if they're all the same. Punt and underrated. Yeah, I don't necessarily, if that's what you're talking about, I don't think it's necessarily the same. Like, is Sanchez underrated? Probably not. Is he a punt to captain? Yeah, I think he is. Do you think it's likely that Josh King is going to be on penalties from now on? I was surprised that Wilson took the last one. So, as far as I know, from what I've read, and I don't know if this is 100% confirmed, but apparently Bournemouth have a policy that whoever wins the penalty takes the penalty. So, even if Wilson missed and he wins the next one, there's a chance he takes it. What I'd really like to see this week is Wilson win the penalty and King to take it and score. And then we know. But if King wins the penalty and scores it, we don't really know if he's definitely on penalties or not. Let's do the polls. We're coming up for an hour, so we'll do the polls now. So if you haven't already voted, it's too late. Unless you're really quick now. First time FPL player, do you suggest I spend all of my money or keep some in the bank so I can pick up an expensive player next week? So I think that's a really good question because most of the time you want to get as much of your budget as you can on the pitch. If it's on your bench, it's not working for you. Yes, of course, if they do well, they can come on. But what you shouldn't get caught up in, which all of us do, and I definitely did in Game Week 1, is you don't have to spend all your money Obviously, and it's going to sound really cliche and obvious, but you've got to pick the player you think is going to do well. So for me, I'm not saying I definitely would have gone Mane and Luke Shaw, for example, but because I had 5.5 million, I felt like I had to spend 5.5 million on my last defender, which I ended up going buying. It could have been PVA as well. But I never really considered that I could have just got... As soon as I put in Shaw or Trent Alexander-Arnold, I was looking, well, where do I want to spend the extra 0.5 million? I didn't really have anywhere to spend it. So I just went for a 5.5 million defender. So really, I should have just picked the 5 million and kept 0.5 in the bank. So it's not the worst idea to keep money in the bank, but I'm not sure how long that will pay off for, because generally the more you spend, the better quality players you got. That's how it's supposed to work anyway. So it's not a bad strategy if you're extremely happy with what you've got. Like, I wouldn't generally, I mean, it can happen sometimes depending on how things go and whether a really cheap bargain becomes a must-have, but you wouldn't be wanting 4 or 5 million in the bank probably. But 0.5 to 1.5 for a few weeks, maybe even just a week, sure, why not? Okay, polls for real this time. I like that question, so we did that first. Where are they? Oh, it's taking so long to load. It's like being back with bad internet. Okay. It's honestly ridiculous how often I've done streams. 115 times, in fact. And I still have to think about where the answers are on my screen. How many transfers for Game Week 2? So again, these are all polls that people came up with on Twitter. I usually put out a tweet about an hour or so before the stream to ask for poll ideas. So this is the first one. How many transfers for Game Week 2? 67% of people that voted are making 0. It's fair enough. Game Week 1, Game Week 2. 22% making just 1. 7% making 2, so taking a hit already. And apparently 3% of you are taking 3 or more. Is Mendy essential? I'm going to say it's going to be yes, about 64%. Oh, it's yes, but 83% think Mendy is essential. Everyone else says no. It's 83%, absolutely essential. Imagine if he doesn't start against Huddersfield. Best captain for Game Week 2. So I'm going to go Aguero about 54%, Salah 40%, and then the rest. Aguero 62%, so a bit higher, and Salah only 29%, and then Kane just 2%, but I guess most people watching probably don't own him. And then 5% for someone else. So Aguero, the favourite, still. Which City mid now? De Bruyne is out. 67% say Bernardo Silva. I guess it's just the price. It's the price. Because if money was nothing, if money didn't mean anything, you'd have Sterling, right? If you had a draft, you'd go for Sterling. So Bernardo Silva, 67%. That's huge. 18% for Sterling. Only 7% for Mahrez. So he's going to be... I don't know what his overall ownership is, but he could be a cheeky little differential, Mahrez. Only 1% for David Silva. Fair enough, he's only just back from injury. And 4% saying someone else, Gundogan or whoever. And then Firmino or Mane, 78% Mane. I mean, to be fair, he scored last week, Firmino didn't, so I expected that poll to be big in favour of Mane. Probably not the fairest time to ask it, to be honest. Am I making a transfer? No. Sell Keita for Milivojevic? No. Milivojevic is playing... I don't think so, anyway. I mean, Liverpool... He's playing Liverpool next. Keita is playing Crystal Palace next. Yeah, not for me. Did I ever upgrade my graphics card? So someone kindly from the stream donated me a graphics card, a GTX 970. So got a bit of an upgrade. I still may in the future at some point upgrade further, but I'm probably in the market for a laptop first. Something that maybe play a few games on, but mostly to do kind of Photoshop and stuff like that, and just a bit of writing and responding on Twitter and whatnot. So a laptop is what I'm in the market for. So if anyone's got any recommendations, hit me up on Twitter. Joe Hart, 3 clean sheets already must be an option. Yeah, I think so. I do think so. If he's going to keep his spot, definitely. A Burnley keeper at 4.5 million is always brilliant. Upload speed's about 20 meg. Please bench Zaha and bring in Peltier. Definitely not. Definitely not. A MacBook Pro. Do you know, I'd love a MacBook Air. Oh, excuse me. I'd love a MacBook Air, but they're so nice. Like the metal case, they're so thin. But to be honest, I don't really get on with Apple. So I'll be getting a Windows laptop. That was a bad comparison because you could have them both. AliEx and Ericsson much better. Yeah, well, next time we'll do a different one. Definitely. Not a fan of Apple computers, not worth them. I don't want to get too much into a computer talk here, but I mean, the one I use, my girlfriend's got one, fiance has got one for work, and it's so nice. And I do like it when I use it, but I just wouldn't want one full time. I'd do my head in. Yeah, Razer laptop, nice, but really expensive. How long have I been doing YouTube for? For about a year and a half, maybe just over now. At Christmas, it'll be 2 years. Hazard or Dele Alli? I think Hazard for the upcoming fixtures. Kane or Aguero for the long run? I say Aguero right now with the fixtures. Surprised Danny Ings wasn't mentioned. He was mentioned earlier in the stream, just not sure if he's going to keep starting or not. Or, yeah, not sure if like him and Aston are going to start. Are they going to rotate? Where does Gabbiadini fit in? Why did Smalling's price drop? Because he didn't start game at 1, so everyone that bought him, they sold him, essentially. People fall in price when they get sold too much. People go up in price when they get bought a lot. Deji. I wonder if is that the Deji? KSI and Deji. Love the consistency. Thank you very much. I do aim to be consistent at least, if not anything else. Any plans to come and watch a game in London? No, not currently. How long am I planning to give Jota? He gets at least this week and then definitely gets reconsidered. Looking forward to the drunk Christmas 4-hour stream. Could happen. Isn't this the worst game week to bank a transfer excessive price change? Yeah, you've got kind of a point there because like this week, next week, you know, maybe game week 4 and 5, they'll be the most active players and then people will start tailing off. But I don't want to make my transfers just based on price rises. If it's not something I really want to do, then I just won't do it and I'll just accept the price rises. It sucks, but that's the way it is. Best Arsenal midfielder for game week 3 onwards, Mkhitaryan. I like Mkhitaryan's price, but Ramsey was very high up the pitch for game week 1. His average position was very high. And he's the one I want, to be honest. So I will look at Chelsea game and see how they play. Hopefully Ramsey comes through unscathed, gets a good lot of minutes under his belt. But Ramsey for an extra 0.5 million is the one I want, I think. Use bench boost? Definitely not. Not this week. What's the name of your team? Andy's All-Stars. Why was Ramsey subbed at 53 minutes? He'd been suffering with a calf injury before. Calf injury, I think it was. Kind of beforehand. Not necessarily just before that. He'd been past fit, but he'd had it recently, so I'd say that's why he came off early. He doesn't have the greatest track record of injuries, though, so little bit of a risky pick. With those fixtures, I kind of want him or Aubameyang, and unless Aguero gets benched this week, and I don't think he will, I'm going to find it very hard to Aguero to Aubameyang. I could do... Hang on, let me work out the maths here. No, I definitely can't do that. Never mind. I could do Sanchez and King to Aubameyang and like a 6 million mid. I mean, I can do that, but don't know if I'd want to. Get a 5.5 million mid, Fraser maybe, Gray, potentially. Swap out Van Arnold for buy. No, keep. I think you can keep if you've got either of those. Whichever one you got, whether you got Van Arnold or buy, I don't think it's worth swapping to the other one with the fixtures they've got. I know Van Arnold's got Liverpool this week, but they're good after that. Thoughts on Rashford? Will he keep starting plays? There's a chance that he plays on the right, but I think he'll be benched. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think I've got. I'd have to guess bench, to be honest. Definitely not quick maths, unfortunately. The Foster Fab rotation is giving me a headache. I think if you've not got a Bournemouth attacker, I think you go for the home goalkeeper. Try not to overthink it, to be honest. Not going to lie, I also don't fully understand the price ratios. Neither do I. I just read FPL statistics and hope for the best. So let's talk FPL for Let's Talk FPL HD. Oh, that was a thing for ages, wasn't it? Now everyone's HD. See you later, Pierre. Best vice captain, Aguero, triple captain, Sanchez or Mane? I don't know. It's a Mane. It's probably got to be Mane. Captain Foster. Probably not going to happen. Sterling Aguero long term. I mean, I kind of want to say Sterling, to be honest. Do I think Pedro will start the next game? I think there's a good chance of it because early on he played, like pre-season he played a bit more than Willian. So maybe Willian not quite up to scratch fitness-wise and Hazard might come in for Willian. But if you're thinking about bringing Pedro in, I'm not sure I will be doing it this week because potentially Willian could move to the right and Hazard could play left and Pedro could miss out. So I think it's tough this week to say exactly who will. I think just because of the extra pre-season minutes, Pedro maybe has slightly favoured to Willian, but I'm not sure I'd be confident enough to bring him in. Chelsea to win the Premier League this year? Nah, Man City all the way. Maybe Liverpool. All right, we're gonna put Candyland on for the end. When do you recommend using your wildcard? Exactly when you need it. Wait till you got maybe a few injuries. Perhaps you need to change a lot of your bench plus a few big hitters in your first 11. Okay, yeah, we'll do quickfire. Alright, yeah, we'll do a quickfire. We'll do a quickfire to end the screen. I'll turn up Candyland a little bit. Now we get to phase over to this screen. The only thing I can't set up in advance is the countdown time. We'll do 5 minutes because any more gets crazy. So the idea of quickfire is exactly how it sounds. You ask your questions. I'll try and answer as many as possible in 5 minutes. I mean, oh shit, I've done the wrong. Of course, I'm always trying to answer as many as possible, but this is more like quickfire, yes or no, A or B style questions instead of whatever. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you have some kind of clue about what I'm trying to say, because I don't. Okay, 5 minutes, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. The dog's trying to ask Mendy or Robertson. Mendy, come on. Jota to Neves, no, that's way too early. Sterling or Hazard long term. I mean, it depends what you consider long term, but I think Sterling's fixtures nick it for me. Swap out Zaha for Arnautovic, no. Josh King or Davis for the season. Davis. Sané or Bernardo Silva. Dinner with Klopp or Conte? Klopp. Will Schlupp keep playing as a mid? I wouldn't be so sure about that, but if you've already got him, I think you can keep him for now. Could be his place to lose. Smalling to Mendy for a -4. It depends who the other players you're taking out, but Smalling's probably not going to play, so I think getting Mendy in. I know there's the whole don't take hits for defenders, but I mean, I did that for Alonso a couple of seasons ago and it worked out really well. I expect him to keep getting attacking returns, definitely going to get clean sheets. That -4 could pay off over the season. Will Bernardo Silva play this weekend? Yeah, I think he will. Ben Chilwell differential, yep, decent one I think. Hazard instead of Sanchez, yes, but I'm not sure it's worth a transfer this week. If you were picking right now, right, it's Arsenal. Yeah, I'd probably still go for Sanchez for 1 week. King to Wilson for Pickford to Edison game week 3. Personally, I would just wait to game week 3 to do that. Fish and chips or bangers and mash? Fish and chips. Mendy or Walker? Mendy for the price saving. Kane in after his hat trick this week. Nah, because I'd rather have Sanchez for his hat trick against Spurs. Ericsson or Ali? Probably Ericsson just, but it's very close. Watching from Sydney, Australia, love it. Thanks, Adam. Thanks for tuning in. Never seen such an attacking defender as Mendy. I mean, Alonso the last 2 seasons, to be fair. But yeah, I get what you're saying. KSI or Logan Paul? KSI. Double liver defense or PVA and Robbo? PVA and Robbo. I think Vanano's going to do really well. Any 5.5 defensive replacement for Van Arnold? No need to get rid of Van Arnold. City or Liverpool, which do you hate more? Yeah, don't really hate either of them more or less. 20k before the Game Week 2 review? Probably not. We'll see. Lindelof or Shaw? Shaw, I think. I don't think either of them are really... I mean, Mourinho will probably keep the centre-backs the same until they make big mistakes, but I think Shaw is more exciting. Midfielders over strikers. It does look that way so far, but it's just been 1 game week. Let's see what happens. Emil Heskey, triple captain. Definitely, if he was still playing. King or Wood long term? I do like Wood, to be honest. I think Burnley's fixtures are pretty good, so I'll say Wood, but it could all change this week. Guess who I will triple captain this year? Ooh, Mo Salah. Why not? Hopefully someone good. Bench boost and non-double game week. Sure, if you've got a good enough bench and you think they're going to get kind of 20 plus points. Would I take a 5k finish if someone offered it to you now? Probably. It'd be nice to get another one, to be honest. Sunday roast or Sunday barbecue? Sunday roast. Sterling or Gray? Sterling. Kane or Aguero for this week. Although Kane has got Fulham. Aguero until I see Kane play a bit better. Salah or Sanchez? Captain Salah. King or Zaha or Arnie? So this week Arnie, but I think longer term Zaha. How many game weeks until we see your first game week? First template? I think we kind of already have it, to be honest. At least a little bit. McGregor or Khabib? McGregor. Team to concede most this season? Ooh, good question. Huddersfield. Starting this week when they concede 10 goals to Man City, with Aguero scoring 5 of them. Can you believe it? Sell King and Jota next week. Let's wait until next week. Man United to win the Champions League, or Let's Talk FPL to hit 30,000 subs by Christmas. That's a tough one. 30,000 subs is nice. Champions League though, not happened for a while. Subs. How many points do you expect this week? At least 90. Nah, realistically, I'd just be happy with 60 plus, I think. Upset of the weekend, Spurs losing to Fulham. Sorry, Matt. Game Boy or Game Gear? Game Boy. Get Mendy in for Van Dijk. I don't know. That's a transfer you never want to make. If you've not got a better way to get Mendy in, then possibly. But Van Dijk should do really well over the first course of the season. Who will finish higher? Me, John T, or Mark? One of those two, probably. Coke or Pepsi? Coke. There we go. Get the annoying beep now. I apologise. Back to the mainstream. That's your quickfire. Over for another week. Popcorn chicken or a Big Daddy? Oof. Probably get a Big Daddy with a side of popcorn chicken. You know what I'm saying? Alright, people. I think I'm going to leave it there. We've been going just over an hour. I think that's a good time. Answered a lot of questions. Hopefully, I'm making 0 transfers, Tom. When am I making an FPL show appearance? I don't know. Probably not this season, I would say. The polls have happened yet. PS4, Xbox, PS4. I mean, I'm still answering. What was I going to say? Well, I don't even know what I was saying now. I'm completely like, oh yeah, hopefully there'll be... well, there will be more to talk about after Game Week 2. There'll be transfers to make. We'll know whether who Hazard replaced, what the Man City lineup was without De Bruyne, etc., etc. I'm looking forward to it. If you want to check out the Patreon, it's all in the link below. Obviously, the August kind of mugging monthly thing is done now, but for September we'll be good to go. Check out fantasyfootballscout.co.uk. Click the link in the description to help out the channel. You go and see what they do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and the next stream will, I don't know, I want to do it after the Liverpool game on Monday, but I'll have to see what I'm doing. I'll try and do it Sunday or Monday. I'll aim for Monday, I think, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to turn it off. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new around here. Much appreciated. Thanks again, Marco, for the UI for the stream. It looks very good. Very happy with it. Catch you next time. Good luck for Game Week 2, and hopefully I'll beat you all. Bye.